Our planet is familiar. Mountains, oceans, forests, deserts. But scattered across Earth are places so strange, so otherworldly, they seem to belong to another planet entirely. These are the most alien natural wonders on Earth. Rising from the Arabian Sea like a forgotten world, Socotra Island has often been described as the most alien-looking place on Earth. Located about 380 kilometers or 236 miles south of Yemen's mainland, this remote island is part of an archipelago so unique that nearly one-third of its plant life exists nowhere else on the planet. Socotra separated from the African mainland roughly 6 million years ago, giving evolution free rein to shape its flora and fauna in extraordinary ways. The island's isolation has allowed life to flourish under bizarre conditions: intense heat, fierce winds, and sparse rainfall. These extremes have produced adaptations so strange they seem almost extraterrestrial. Towering above the rocky plateaus stands Socotra's most famous inhabitant, the dragon's blood tree. Its umbrella-shaped crown, gnarled branches, and blood-red sap evoke images of another planet. Ancient civilizations once prized this resin for medicine, dye, and incense, giving rise to its mythic name. Socotra's otherworldly beauty has not gone unnoticed. UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site in 2008, recognizing its ecological and cultural significance. From an isolated island, we travel to a place that looks as if it has been torn from the surface of Mars. In Andalusia, Spain, lies the Rio Tinto, the Red River. For nearly 5,000 years, humans have mined the Rio Tinto basin for copper, gold, silver and iron. But the river's otherworldly colours are not the result of mining alone. They stem from natural geochemical processes that have unfolded over millions of years. Rainwater seeps through sulfide-rich rocks, leaching out iron and heavy metals. These minerals oxidize, turning the water into a cocktail of acids and metallic salts. The result is a blood-red river, acidic enough to dissolve metal, and yet somehow teeming with microscopic life. Scientists have discovered thriving colonies of extremophiles, microorganisms that feed on iron and sulfur in the river. These microbes not only survive, but shape the environment itself, producing the very chemical reactions that keep the water red and toxic. Because the river's conditions resemble those believed to exist on Mars, NASA and the European Space Agency have studied Rio Tinto as an analogue site for extraterrestrial life. The rocks and minerals here share striking similarities with Martian terrain, making Rio Tinto a training ground for astrobiologists and planetary rovers alike. Our journey takes us to Madagascar, and a landscape so treacherous it's called the place where one cannot walk barefoot. Rising like a jagged ocean of stone in Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, vast limestone spires pierce the sky, stretching for miles in every direction. Sharp, grey, and otherworldly. From above, the landscape resembles a petrified forest. These natural rock formations can reach heights of up to 70 meters or 230 feet, creating an intricate maze of vertical cliffs, canyons, and deep crevices. The Tsingy was born more than 200 million years ago, when ancient seas deposited thick layers of limestone and coral. Over millennia, tectonic activity lifted these layers skyward, and rainwater began to sculpt them. Dissolving rock, carving fissures, and shaping the fantastic spires that exist today. This relentless erosion produced one of the most complex karst landscapes on Earth, a three-dimensional maze of cliffs, towers and caverns, interspersed with hidden valleys and underground rivers. The result is a natural fortress that feels almost alive, an alien cathedral of stone. We now travel to the Andes in Bolivia, to a landscape of infinite shimmering flatness. This is the Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat. The landscape was born from prehistoric lakes that evaporated thousands of years ago, leaving behind vast crusts of pure, gleaming salt. From above, it appears like a white ocean frozen in time, cracked into perfect geometric patterns that stretch as far as the eye can see. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water transforms Salar de Uyuni into the world's largest mirror. The sky and ground merge seamlessly, making it impossible to tell where Earth ends and the heavens begin. It's a phenomenon so surreal that many call it the border between reality and infinity. Even when dry, Salar de Uyuni retains its otherworldly aura. The ground forms natural hexagons, patterns caused by the crystallization of salt under pressure and heat. At night, Salar de Uyuni transforms again, this time into a cosmic mirror for the Milky Way. Under the high-altitude sky, untouched by light pollution, stars blaze in perfect symmetry across the mirrored ground. It's as if you're standing between two galaxies. On certain nights in the Maldives, the shoreline begins to sparkle, not with moonlight or starlight, but with a mysterious electric blue glow that seems to pulse with life. This is Wadi Island's glowing beach, one of the most otherworldly natural spectacles on Earth. This phenomenon, often called the Sea of Stars, is caused by microscopic organisms known as bioluminescent phytoplankton, specifically dinoflagellates. When disturbed by waves, footsteps or movement, they emit a soft neon blue light, a defense mechanism that startles predators and enchants humans alike. The glow is a product of chemistry as much as beauty. Inside each dinoflagellate, a molecule called luciferin reacts with oxygen in the presence of an enzyme, luciferase, producing light, much like a firefly does. The glowing beach can appear on several islands across the Maldives, but Vadu is the most famous. The phenomenon tends to occur from June to December, when the waters are calm and plankton blooms are most active. We travel to East Java, Indonesia, to a land of fire and ash, a landscape that is truly primordial. The most famous cone is Mount Bromo, an active volcano. Its steady exhalation is a constant reminder of the immense power churning beneath. Mount Bromo stands at 2,329 meters, or 7,641 feet, within the Tsingy caldera, a vast ancient crater spanning 10 kilometers or 6 miles across. The caldera is surrounded by sheer cliffs and filled with an expanse known as the Sea of Sand, a desert of fine volcanic ash that stretches for miles, broken only by smouldering vents and rippling dunes. When the morning mist rolls across the basin, it blurs the boundary between earth and sky. Peaks rise from the haze like islands in an ash-grey ocean, their slopes glowing orange under the first light of day. Bromo is one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, erupting dozens of times over the past century. It is a living monument to geology, to culture, and to the eternal dance between destruction and rebirth. We journey now to the arid wilderness of southern Jordan. This is Wadi Rum, the Valley of the Moon. A landscape so profoundly red it has stood in for Mars in countless films. Spread across nearly 720 square kilometres or 278 square miles, Wadi Rum is a geological masterpiece, an immense desert valley carved by wind, water and time. Its fiery hues of red, gold and ochre, along with its monumental cliffs, have earned it comparisons to the surface of Mars. Erosion has sculpted the sandstone and granite mountains into surreal forms, narrow gorges, natural bridges and mushroom-shaped rocks rising from the desert floor. At dawn and dusk, the colours shift dramatically, from deep crimson to violet, from copper to pale silver, creating one of the most otherworldly light shows on Earth. At night, under one of the clearest skies on Earth, the desert transforms again. Thousands of stars spill across the black sky, and the Milky Way arcs overhead with dazzling clarity. The desert has served as the backdrop for some of cinema's most stunning depictions of alien worlds, including The Martian, Dune, and Prometheus. In the middle of Nevada's vast, sunburned desert stands a surreal burst of colour and steam. This is Geyser, one of the most bizarre and beautiful accidents in nature. A place where geology and human chance combined to create something truly out of this world. In 1916, a ranch owner drilled a well in search of irrigation water. They struck a geothermal pocket, water heated by the Earth's crust. But the well was soon abandoned when the scalding temperature made it unusable. Decades later, in 1964, another well was drilled nearby. This time, the pressure of the geothermal water found a weak spot in the well casing, and superheated water began to erupt. Over time, the mineral-rich water deposited layers of travertine and thermophilic algae, building up the striking, cone-shaped structure we see today, a growing, living sculpture of colour and heat. The geyser's appearance is unlike anything else on Earth. Standing about 12 feet or 4 meters tall, it constantly ejects hot water, up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 93 degrees Celsius, from multiple vents, creating a network of terraces and pools that glisten with vibrant hues. The geyser continuously changes shape as minerals deposit new layers year after year. The result is a living monument to the unpredictable artistry of nature. We now travel to Namibia, to a place of stark, haunting beauty, hidden amongst the world's tallest dunes. This is Deadvlei, the Dead Marsh. Deadvlei sits within the famous Socotra region, an expanse of the Namib Desert, the world's oldest desert, dating back over 55 million years. Surrounded by towering sand dunes, some rising over 300 metres or 980 feet tall, the pan itself is a dried-up clay basin that once held water from the Socotra River. Centuries ago, seasonal floods created shallow pools where camel thorn trees thrived. But then the climate shifted. Drought reclaimed the land, and sand dunes sealed off the river's path, cutting off the water supply forever. The trees died, yet they never decayed. In the dry desert air, there is no moisture for decomposition. What remains are blackened, skeletal trees, preserved by the relentless sun, standing like shadows frozen in eternity. There is no sound in Deadvlei, no bird song, no rustle of leaves, not even wind on most days. The silence is absolute. Standing there, you feel suspended in time, surrounded by monuments to a world long vanished. Deep in northern Ethiopia, at the edge of the Great Rift Valley, lies the Danakil Depression, a landscape so harsh and surreal that it's often called the most alien place on Earth. The Danakil is one of the lowest, driest and hottest regions on the planet. Sitting about 125 meters, or 410 feet, below sea level, it regularly records temperatures above 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit, even in the shade. Rain is almost non-existent, and yet the area teems with vibrant colour and violent energy. It lies within the Afar Triangle, a geological hotspot where three tectonic plates, the African, Arabian and Somali, are slowly pulling apart. As the Earth's crust fractures and thins, magma rises close to the surface, giving birth to volcanoes, lava lakes and boiling springs. Scientists believe that millions of years from now, this area will sink even further, eventually becoming part of a new ocean basin as the African continent continues to rift.